OxFit Podcast, Episode 4, welcoming Beefy to the pod room.
I am so excited to finally be here and not just be behind the camera.
Right, I'm excited to have you. When we're together, I get to be salty. Usually I'm just Sav, but when Beefy's here, salty Sav comes out.
I like that salty beef.
All right, so Coach Caitlin, Beefy,
Yes.
you're a big part of the OxFit team, so why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do here?
So I wear a lot of hats. I get to be GM of EAV, head nutrition coach, get to coach as well, and then I get to spend my afternoons being a big beefcake with you guys.
Yeah.
And a little elite, So.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think your favorite hat to wear, or the one that I think you're really passionate about, is the head nutrition coach. You're the head of OxFit Nutrition.
Oh, without a doubt. I know when I first joined in on the team and got to experience Fox 100 for the first time, and Ant brought me in, I was like, I already love doing this. Now I'm going to take it on in. So it's been awesome the last 2 years now.
Yeah.
Can't believe it, 2 years.
So what is OxFit Nutrition has really transformed a lot over the past year, I'd say. So what is the goal of OxFit Nutrition at this moment?
Yeah, so just OxFit Nutrition without the Ox 100 is just changing habits and changing lives. That's what we're all about. I mean, you come in to OxFit and you're like, I really want to make a change. Well, the first step and the first thing that we're going to do is also change your nutrition. So you want the best results, we can give them to you. But it's going to take, creating habits in the gym and creating habits outside of the gym with your nutrition.
Definitely.
And so then we offer up, of course, one-on-one nutrition. But when you first join OxFit, Ox 100, all the way. Way to go. It's for anyone and everyone that joins. So what Ox 100 is, 100 days to 100%. It's that 1% better every day by creating and changing your habits to change your life. So you're in a group and it gives you that accountability that you were needing and that you were lacking. Then you're while being surrounded by like-minded and supportive individuals, not just myself as the coach, but all the other, whether you're with the women or the men, they have your back. And then over the 100 days that we spent together, we give you the tools and the knowledge to have long-term sustainability. I know you've done Ox 100 a couple times. I've done it a couple times. But, we have people who have only done it the one time and, continue to make crazy progress. And then we show you as well that nutrition isn't about restriction. It's about flexibility.
Yeah. I think that's one thing that I really valued about Ox 100, and I think everyone who is a part of OxFit and has done, Ox 100 or anything with OxFit Nutrition is that it is 100 days to 100%, and then it's not something you are going to fall off of. So you can keep doing Ox 100 with a new goal, with a new mindset, but it's never, going to be that yo-yo diet situation where I did Ox 100 and went back to kind of how I was, and then Ox 100 is going to get me right again. Like, if you did do that, that's fine, but really what I've seen from all of the people that have done it is they've got tools that are just ingrained in them now so that they just keep going up, up, and up.
Yeah, and I also feel like a lot of times that people see Ox 100 as a big goal. And so by the time we get towards finishing Ox 100, those 100 days, they're then setting different goals. They're like, I think I want to run a marathon. I want to do the triathlon, maybe compete in, a CrossFit competition that we do every year as well. And you just watch them, exceed it and continue to just crush it.
Yeah. So what is the conversation you have with people after Ox 100 ends? And I know people have asked you, like, okay, I did it. I lost the weight, I look the way I want to look, or I can do X, Y, and Z in the gym now. What next?
Yeah, so that's something that we do focus on the last 10 days of Ox 100, our phase 4. And during that time is where we will set those goals. So it's just like you said, they're like, okay, I've, lost 25, 30 pounds. What can I do to, keep this momentum going? And that is what we discover through those 100 days is you get to figure out what makes your body feel the best. Through moving through those phases, you're like, I really enjoyed eating like this, or I really liked having my macros this way, or now they've, lost weight and they're like, I want big muscles. Well, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
And for some people, we'll usually just go one-on-one. Which I always recommend if you feel like maybe in the past you have had that yo-yo effect and you're just like, I want to be locked in. And I help keep you more accountable. You have other coaches keeping you accountable as well. Or really, like I said, when we give you those tools, most people, they're just like, we'll meet, set new macros, and then they're just on their way.
Yeah. I think that is really cool because I think a lot of group nutrition or group fitness or group anything challenge is going to be very uniform. And even though Ox 100 is, done with a group, you have that group accountability and support. Everyone very much has an individualized kind of way they're approaching the challenge. I mean, I know the first 30 days we all do a Whole30 paleo situation just to kind of get rid of some of those dependencies we have on sugar and some unhealthy things like alcohol. And then from there, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but everyone kind of takes off on their own journey in terms of tracking macros based on what their goal is, which is really sets people up for success.
Right, because we've seen it before. It's kind of like you come into some kind of nutrition challenge, and the reason we take it to that level where it is individualized, especially by the second phase, is because what works for me isn't going to work for you. And then what works for you wouldn't work necessarily for somebody else. It has to be, for you in the sense of, what makes your body work the best. So it's like, you brought up phase 1. We're doing Whole30 paleo. I know the guys are doing carnivore. We're, changing our eating habits, eating more whole foods, and then also giving up some kind of other, bad habit. I know this Ox 100, I gave up taking too many selfies, which was actually harder than I thought.
Yeah.
What was it that you gave up this Ox 100 in the first 30 days?
I always try to cut back on the screen time in the first 30 days. So always having the books on the nightstand or making a better choice just about content in general. So listening to audiobooks instead of listening to some, trashy podcasts. I love those.
I know, but those are still so good though. But, since we're getting, changing those habits, we're going to throw in a couple more. And then when we hit that phase 2, we've got our macros coming in. So it's like, everyone's in a different journey along this nutrition journey that we're on together. So my macros aren't going to be the same as your macros. And then, my goal, of course, is to continue getting huge. But that's not everybody. That's not everybody else, so that's where it comes in with, the one time that I'm like, weigh yourself. Other than that, stay away from the scale anytime during the nutrition challenge.
Yeah, I think that's different for a lot of people that have done a nutrition challenge before. And something I really enjoyed about Ox 100 the first time I did it is that there really wasn't, unless, like you said, that was your specific goal to lose X amount of pounds, I was never weighing myself.
Oh, yeah.
I was going on, how am I fitting in my clothes? How do I look? How do I feel? Which I think says a lot more because when I did end up weighing myself, my weight didn't really change that much, but I looked like a completely different person. So.
And I love that you brought that up because I actually just had that conversation with someone in Ox 100 right now. And she was like, Caitlin, I'm the same weight on the scale. And I was like, well, I did just see you finally cleaning that D-ball, so you are getting stronger. And just like you said, it's about your performance in the gym, how your clothes are fitting. It's never, the scale is just one big,
It can mean a lot of things.
Yeah, it really can. And plus, it's just going to mess with your head.
Yeah.
Because as much as nutrition is physical, it also brings in that mental aspect, that relationship that we have with our own bodies.
Right.
And that's something Ox 100 changed for me from the very beginning. It was always very, like I'm trying to be my skinniest. I need to look a certain way. It's not about that. It's about being healthy, loving myself, loving my body, because losing a few pounds, sure, I'm going to, be excited. I'll be happy to a point. But if I wasn't already loving myself and happy with my body in the first place, what makes you think it would still be the same down the road?
Right.
And that's what, moving through this challenge, I see a lot of the time is that we go from being really judgmental about ourselves to feeling all the love, feeling good, feeling healthy, and not basing it off of what the scale says.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think just not getting discouraged by anything that you would deem a setback. I know for me, my nutrition has also been a little bit of trial and error, because the same thing doesn't always work for everyone. So especially figuring out, do I feel better when I'm eating a lot of fat? Do I feel better when I'm eating less fat and more carbs? And so I think you do a really good job of helping people navigate those choices and kind of feel out different ways to approach nutrition to find something that really works for you.
Oh yeah, because it's, we're usually, as women, it's all about, we're not, can't eat too much, and we have to, we get out of that really a lot of times. I know that I've struggled with that in the past. I know you and I have actually had that conversation before about eating, too many carbs, not eating enough carbs. And what I was going to ask is, after doing all of your Ox 100s, what would you say has been your favorite phase so far?
My favorite phase is always the first phase, because I just really like how basic it is. It's still eating really good, delicious food without having to track anything or count things, which I don't love doing. I've gotten a lot better at it, but I just love the Whole30 and being able to eat just good meat and veggies and fruit and just feel good about myself, because we don't realize how addicted we are to just crap.
I know, all the processed foods. And, people really do. They're just like, oh, Whole30, I've done Whole30 before. And I'm like, but have you really stuck with it for 30 days? Because if you actually stick with it for 30 days, I mean, there's no denying the results and that come from that. It may not be so much as, you're losing 20 pounds on the first phase, but you definitely feel better, you sleep better, you perform better in the gym. I mean, there's such a wide range of results that come from that first phase.
Definitely. What about you? What's your favorite phase? What's your favorite phase to go through, and what's your favorite phase to coach people through Ox 100?
Honestly, I'm going to have to go with the same answer for both phase 2.
Phase 2.
Oh, yeah. I find for myself personally, I love the high fat, the high protein, the high fat, showing and training our bodies that it's more than just carb. We can eat more than just carbs for energy. And then being the second phase being my favorite to coach is I love changing people's minds. It has to be my favorite. It's very much like, oh, Caitlin, I can't eat all this fat, or they've never eaten so much protein. And a lot of times is when we see the greatest results come from the second phase.
Yeah.
Because even in the first phase, we're eating the whole foods. We've made that change. But now we're going to eat enough fat and enough protein and work on our hormones. And that's when you really see love handles go. We slim up, we get nice and lean. We're, not cramping as bad. It's just the changes that happen in that second phase are by far my favorite. But also it's it's a little bit of them needing me a little extra.
Yeah, definitely.
In the second phase.
Yeah, I've done it however many times, and I still need you whenever we transition from the first phase to second or third. Yeah, and I think that's where people really struggle, especially because you have to really stay dedicated to planning your week and just really prioritizing and scheduling for yourself and your goals. And the meal prepping that's involved. Eventually it becomes, second nature, not even a question, but you just have to work it into your weekly or daily schedule. So what is your, for someone who's never had to meal prep or had to think about that before, what are the first tips you give someone?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's one thing that's great about the first phase is if you do eat a lot of processed foods or you tend to go out to eat all the time, the first phase really puts you in the kitchen. So it's going to make you, you're eating all whole food. So you've got to make your meat. You're, dicing, slicing, becoming a little chef. And so by the second phase, when we do introduce macros, because a lot of times people have never even worked with macros or heard of macros before. So it does, like you said, take that planning. So one of the biggest tips I always give is that make a good list, almost like you're making a menu for the week. It keeps you really accountable on what you're going to have. It keeps you from spending way too much money at the grocery store. And, I do tell people sometimes it does get a little easier to eat the same things. Not saying, eat only one lunch the whole week, but giving yourself the option of 2 breakfasts, 2 lunch. I know a lot of people then, they have kids and a spouse or a partner and they like to cook together at night, which I find a lot of people love doing, is that it doesn't just become a them thing, it becomes a family thing and it brings them closer together and they spend more time just simply by cooking and eating together, which I think is really great. But one thing I do with Ox 100 is send out recipes. With it being, probably your first time that you've either meal prepped or really been in the kitchen, we do try and make it just that much easier for you to feel okay with what you're doing. So if that means, giving you meal prep ideas, the recipes that we do, it just helps make it easier and feel less overwhelming. Because it can get, I know for me in the very, very beginning, when I at first ever started working out and doing nutrition, meal prep, get so overwhelmed. Because I was like, oh God, I've got to cook all of this stuff. I've got to separate it. And if I have macros, I got to make sure it matches all my macros. But another great tip also is with when we start doing macros, we have our macro app that we use. Scan everything and put it in ahead of time. It has a scanner in the app. You just scan the barcode and it automatically puts in 1 serving size, how much it is for like protein, carbs, fat, and your calories. And just taking the time when you do make your menu, sitting there and just playing with it. Plugging numbers in. So then you go ahead and get everything set up for the whole week and you're like, all right, I know what I'm having. Now all you have to do is put it in a container. Which to me is kind of satisfying. I'm like, a scoop goes here, scoop goes here.
Yeah, you can make it fun. And I also appreciate you do take a lot of time to not only film yourself meal prepping, but you've done quite a few videos where you're going to Costco and showing people the quick things they can grab, the pre-cooked chicken, like if they are in a rush and they don't have time to do all of this on a Sunday, or maybe they're out of town for the weekend and they need something quick and easy. So you also give people those options as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to be in the kitchen for hours on end. And I mean, I even just spent this last week microwaving all my meals, in the sense of like I went and got the pre-made grilled chicken, microwaved it, separate it, made some sweet potato fries, just put them in there, nothing too fancy, because we got other things to be doing. So I just can't always be in there slaving away.
It doesn't have to be long, be quick, be easy. But yeah, Ox 100's legit.
I mean, it's changed my life.
I think it's changed everyone's life that's done it. And we have a pretty big handful of people that are doing it just right out the gate from joining the gym, which I think that would be my advice to anyone that wants to join OxFit. If they come in and they say, I want to get in shape, I want to be happier, healthier, harder to kill.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, great. You're coming to class, we're doing Ox 100 with Caitlin,
Mm-hmm.
and you're just going to moving on up.
Yeah, I mean, even just you saying that, I just completely hit me. Everyone in the women's challenge right now
Mm-hmm.
is brand new to the gym. Everyone. Which is crazy. I don't know how I could forget about that.
What a great way to just really get yourself in the community with all these awesome women that just joined the gym. You're all working out together, seeing each other in class, interacting outside of class in the Facebook group and the app with Ox 100, and you're just on this awesome journey together.
Oh yeah, because even when, there are times that you're just like, oh God, I can't, you feel like that moment, you're just like, God, this is getting hard. Mm-hmm. Being able to have them come into the gym, see them in class, mm-hmm. and even on our Facebook group is everyone's so loving and encouraging. Even people who have done it in the past that are still part of the group, they're on there. Hey, there's a sale at Publix on this right now. And it's like, thank you. You're not even doing the challenge right now. I appreciate you.
Yeah. Yeah, it is cool. It would be great to, or it's already happening, building up just not only the OxFit community, but all of the people that have done OxFit mm-hmm. nutrition and kind of know what everyone's going through. Yeah, and I think that's what gets me excited to do it again and again and again, because I just love doing it with new goals in mind and mm-hmm. trying new things in terms of my macros that maybe I haven't done before, new goals in the gym that I want to meet, and just seeing all the new people crush it. It's awesome.
I know, and it's like you said, it's my favorite hat to wear, hands down.
Yeah.
I just love changing lives.
And people don't have to live here and go to the gym to do it. That's another great thing.
Right?
It can be done totally remote. So.
Yeah, because we do have a couple people that don't come to the gym that do it.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's a great resource for anyone, anywhere.
Yeah, we're here to hold you accountable no matter where you are.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But, I mean, and it's like you said, it's all about the priority. Mm-hmm. It's like, you come into the gym, you want to be healthy, happy, harder to kill. And the reason in the past maybe your nutrition or your diets haven't worked is because you haven't prioritized that for yourself.
Yeah, it's a big shift to start putting that at the forefront. And I think it's because it's kind of easy maybe to ignore.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think once you get to a place where you can really start scheduling your priorities,
mm-hmm.
you're just going to keep seeing the benefits of that. So scheduling time to go to the gym once a day, every other day, mm-hmm. scheduling time in your week to do your meal prep so you're going to set yourself up for success. I think that's really the key. And Ox 100 and just OxFit in general, I think does a really good job of helping you make those choices to really just set yourself up for success.
Yeah, because we'll get them sometimes, people in the beginning, they're just like, oh, I don't know if I can do Ox 100 because I don't have the time.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's so funny when people say I don't have the time. Because when you really think about it, there's 168 hours in the week. And even if you work 40 hours, you sleep 8 hours a night, and then, kind of dick around for like 3 or 4 hours a day, you're still left with 30 hours a week. 30 hours. And people don't realize that because, your day does get hectic. You might mm-hmm. be running around, and you take those moments to be, you're just like, I've been busy.
Mm-hmm.
But then you're out to eat. You're
mm-hmm.
day drinking on the Beltline. You're out at a club, that on the weekends. And it's kind of like you've got 30 hours. And all you need is 1 hour in the gym, if not every day, every other day. And one maybe 2 hours in the kitchen just once a week.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. To meal prep for the whole week, take an hour and a half to 2 hours maybe, if you're, you know, if you're especially moving fast. But it just, you know, it comes down to really prioritizing yourself is the highest form of self-love.
Yeah. And I think we have a great group of people to help you find that balance, because it doesn't have to be an all or a nothing. You can put your nutrition and health and fitness on the forefront and your relationships with people on the forefront, and we can still go out on the Beltline together and, you know, grab a drink. I mean, just the other podcast, we were talking about how we've really turned into a tequila family over here at OxFit instead of a beer or wine. But yeah, it's just all about, you know, continuously making just a better choice, just to be a little bit better every day. And Ox 100 would definitely help you do that.
Oh yeah, I mean, and like I said, it's about flexibility and sustainability. So, you know, I'm gonna go out and today, I mean, I'm gonna go eat some pancakes.
Yeah,
and
we
just did a crazy long workout. So, and that's the thing, I'm not going to feel bad about it, because we tend to do that as well. We get in this nutrition challenge, and like most people think it is about restriction. And it's like, no, you put in the hard work, you do the time, you know, you worked out really hard today. I'm going to go treat myself and then get right back to it.
Yeah.
And I'm not, like I said, not going to feel bad about it.
That's all it is, just getting right back to it.
Because, I mean, I know that can be hard. At times, you know, the holiday comes around and you know, enjoy yourself. Eat those deviled eggs. Eat, not too many. Those are my favorite, though. I know, I love some deviled eggs. You know, I'm going to eat my, you know, grandma's banana pudding.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, but don't feel bad.
Yeah.
When you know, at the end of the week, you're like, oh, you know, I ate a lot, you know, sometimes, but then people get that mentality around it. They're like, well, I already stopped doing it. I guess I'm going to give up now and just stop. No, that's the time to then be like, all right, cool. Back to prioritizing myself, back to prioritizing the week, had a good time, enjoyed myself.
Yeah. That's all it is.
100%.
Making better choices.
Exactly. That's what it is. 100 days to 100%.
100 days to 100 freaking percent. Happy, healthy, harder to kill.
Harder to kill, baby.
Ox 100.
I love it.
All right. That's great. I love Ox 100. We're about to... What phase are we about to start?
We're finishing phase 2.
Finishing phase 2. Nice. All right. Well, yeah, if anyone is thinking about joining OxFit, you just need to sign up. Sign up for Ox 100, and you'll change your life.
They'll change their lives, and we'll change their life together.
All right. Awesome.
I love it.